This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stock Box interview. Well, joining me now from Minds and Money Connect London is Phil Russo, the CEO of Toubani Resources, listed on the ASX with the ticker TRE. Well, thank you very much for joining me today. Phil, how are you doing?
Good, thanks, Mark. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, how's it been these last couple of days here at Minds and Money?
Very good, thanks. Yeah, full schedules, meeting new guys, new investors that I haven't met before. So it's exciting because the company has done a lot in a short amount of time, and so it's good to update people. So
Indeed,
it's been going well.
One of the big things that happened recently is the change from the CSE, the Canadian exchange, to the ASX. Right. What was the reason behind that?
Oh, look, we listed in Australia late last year. I joined the company in January.
Okay.
So we got new management involved, and the board is becoming Australian dominant as well. And so our largest institutional shareholders are Australian based as well, and so it's just a natural, sensible step towards simplifying our listing structure. I think volumes concentrate on one exchange. Experience has taught me that, and so we just want to give the market a simple listing structure for the company that they can understand, and so we're focusing on one.
Okay. Well, you said you joined the company in January. So not very long ago.
That's right.
Only 4 months ago.
Yeah.
But the company obviously is not 4 months old. It's got a DFS already. So give us a bit of an idea of the company, the snapshot.
Yeah, so it's 3 million ounces. It's got a DFS-completed 3.1 million ounces, 100,000 ounces a year for 10-year project. It's permitted. So it's really advanced for the stage of the company. So the market cap of the company, you have this asset that is quite well advanced, and so it's a real opportunity here to really create some value when we're so disconnected from the asset. And so that's the part of the motivation about giving the Australian listing, is just to give this asset a clear runway.
Okay. What is the market cap?
So less than 20 million Australian dollars at the moment. I think 19 million, and so that's round about where we IPO'd in Australia last year, was around 20 cents, and we're about 18, 19 cents today.
Okay.
It's got a lot going for it, this asset. Indeed. And so we're excited.
So this is a gold project.
Correct.
Yeah, in Mali, the Kobada gold project. Mm-hmm. So the DFS then, so you've got a valuation of 20 million Australian, so I guess under 10 million pounds anyway, I think, for putting into pounds. Mm-hmm. The DFS must attribute some value, obviously, to the project. So what are we talking about in the DFS, the numbers?
Look, it's significant value in terms of NPVs and IRRs. They're not things we're talking really vocally about today, because right now we're working through an optimization phase. So as a new set of eyes coming into the company, the DFS is there. It's a good base case. But we see a lot of opportunity here in terms of what's the right size for the project. Should it be swinging 150,000 ounces a year, something towards that?
Okay.
Or is there a starter project here that ramps up more methodically or measured? That's the work we're doing this current quarter. And then we'll land on a pathway forward, and we'll update that DFS accordingly, and then we'll move into the next phase of the company. But this asset has a lot of optionality. Assets that have the depth of oxide profile that we have, which is free dig, simple metallurgy through all rock here. I said it was permitted. It's got the scale. Assets with that much going for it shouldn't be valued here. And so before we rush into any development decision, we're going to just dot the I's and cross the T's on that.
So it's optimization for the next sort of quarter, really, to decide whether you want to go for a bigger resource, bigger life of mine, or start small and sort of scale up.
That's exactly right. And so the fact that the asset has that optionality is really exciting, right?
And what's the DFS talking about in terms of getting the resource out the ground? Are we talking open pit or underground?
Right. Yeah, so it's one big open pit, 4.5 kilometres long.
Okay.
It's got 150,000 metres drilled in it before we've taken over. So that's something like $80 million invested.
So 80 million's been sunk already?
Sunk into this that we've now taken on, which is a wonderful platform to build something on, right? It's a real advantage as I look at us versus others in terms of a head start. So it's one big pit, 4.5 kilometres long, and it's a simple project. So we're all about trying to create as low technical risk, executable project as we can. And we've really got the fundamentals to do that.
Okay. So to me, the market cap seems fairly low, considering you've got the 3 million ounce there, DFS, and targeting sort of 100,000 per year. What do you think the reason for that is? Has there been a lack of messaging, or maybe is it Mali, the jurisdiction, that's people are unsure of? I mean, if it was in Australia, I imagine it would probably be worth or valued more on the markets.
Well, exactly, and that's the near-term goal. Like, we're trading at $5 an ounce, which is effectively no ounces in the ground, but peers are trading at $30 an ounce. So that's the near-term focus, is to build the market awareness and the profile of the company. So we're working on that. We've got lots of news flow that's been happening and is coming as well this quarter and through the drill bit. But certainly, I think it's not just Africa disconnect here, discount that's happening. There was more. We're newly listed, so people are learning about Toubani. But even African discount notwithstanding, we are quite a depressed stock here for an asset of this significance.
And what is Mali like as a jurisdiction to operate in as a mining company?
I think the rhetoric in Mali outside Mali doesn't match what's happening in the country. If I took a step back and looked at the African dynamics there between the West Africa to East African countries, like I just have a hard time to see today, given Mali's got a history, an established mining code, established mining industry, to see it sort of descend into chaos would cause instability across the Senegal, Ivory Coast, Guinea countries where they've reached a level of stability, and now it's in some ways a destination to invest capital for miners. So I think Mali's showing it can hold its own here. I think US is still sending aid in there and still invested in some ways. So I'm constructive on Mali, and I think if you've got a good asset, you'll attract the capital.
Yeah, indeed, you will. So you don't see too many risks, geopolitical risks in the country?
Look, there is. We've got a mining permit already. We've got an environmental permit already. So we do have a good working relationship with the government there. It's still business as usual in the country for us. So again, I'm constructive that Mali will get through this period of this change in government that it's going through. Certainly for us, we've been unaffected.
Would you look for other projects potentially to mitigate risk, or are you focusing on this particular project?
It's first step first is to get value in Toubani. Like, we need value in Toubani. We've got the asset to do that, and we're busy focused on that.
And just give me an idea of the change of management. You said you came in January, so what was the sort of reasoning behind that, and how were you appointed? What attracted you to the role?
Yeah, so the change in management is just given the listing. No point having. It was better served for the company to have an Australian MD or CEO, where the investors are, where the technical work is being performed, and so the previous CEO, he's moved to executive chairman, and then he'll step to non-executive chairman. So that there, and so I came from Perseus before this, and before that I've worked for other corporates, including Barrick Gold. And so what's attracted me here is you've got multiple ways to win. You've got an asset of significance and of scale that should be trading a lot higher. So I see ways to make investors money here. And so when I saw the opportunity and the fact that we've got a fertile ground here and it's under-drilled, there's lots of ways to get the share price moving. So,
So what's your main objective then for the rest of this year? Obviously to build awareness, to get the share price moving. You said there's lots of news flow coming, mostly on this optimization that you want to get sorted further through Q2. Where would you like to see the company, or are there certain milestones you want to have achieved by the end of this year?
Look, we're two-pronged in terms of news flow. It's the optimisation, but also the exploration. We've just completed a 13,000-metre program. We've released results from 4 of the first 5 targets where we hit new areas of mineralisation outside this big resource. So we've been kicking goals on the exploration front. So that was one leg, and the other leg is this optimisation work, looking at where is the right size for this project, and that's happening all this quarter. So there's plenty of news flow going on.
Is the exploration, is it funded?
It's funded, it's paid for.
It's all paid for.
So it's complete now. We're just waiting for assays through the next few weeks and months. So that's the near term, and then in the second half of the year we'll we'll see how those results are received, and then look to update the DFS and move into the next phase of the company.
Okay, excellent. Well, thank you very much for introducing the company to us today. I look forward to seeing what you decide to do, whether you want to go for small scale or go for gold, let's say,
Let's call it that.
go big. But Phil Russo, the CEO of Toubani Resources, thank you very much for joining me today from the Mines and Money Connect event here in London.
Thanks, Mark.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.